Farmer's Delight is an amazing mod that fully expands the food in Minecraft. This includes new crops, wild flowers, workstations, advancements, and a lot more that we will get into. I mean, you can even get pet foods, which is insane and pretty unique. If you played this mod before, along with other mods, you know how many different add-ons other creators have made. In fact, I bet you don't, as there are so many. Don't worry, I won't make you sit here and listen to my voice any longer than you need to, so we'll get onto those some other time. For more mediocrely frequent videos, and let's get into it. Before you can really do much, you have to get some workstations, and there are a fair few included in this mod, which we will go on to further. The cooking pot is a unique workstation that can be crafted with 2 bricks, 1 wooden shovel, 1 bucket of water, and 5 iron ingots. Placing this on top of a campfire will let you use this to create loads of different recipes and meals. We will go on to all of these different foods later, and what they can give you. Now that you have this crafted and ready to use, you will need to put your meal onto something once it has been cooked, like a bowl or a bottle. So to actually use the cooking pot, you will need to have a campfire and place it underneath, just like so, and then shift click just to place it on top. And then when you come to it, you can open up this menu. And this will actually, if you click the blue book, it will actually give you all the recipes that you can basically create, and it will give you a summary of what you need. So for vegetable noodles, we'll need a carrot, a brown mushroom, raw pasta, a cabbage or its leaf, or some sort of vegetable. So if we go to our chest and we've got all this here, so let's grab all this out, and you will also need a bowl for it, just to actually put the actual meal into it. So it was carrot, brown mushroom, raw pasta, cabbage or its leaf, and then some sort of vegetable. And then you'll need to put a bowl inside this section here, and even if you don't put it in, it will still cook, but you can't actually take the meal out until you put a bowl in. Just like so. And there you go, you get your vegetable noodles. So as you saw, it didn't take too long to do, but like you saw, you can create so many different recipes, and sometimes you don't actually need a bowl, you need a bottle or a pumpkin. So for this one, we'll create glowberry custard. So you need glowberry, milk bottle, an egg, and 1 sugar. And as you can see, it's going to start cooking. Put a glass bottle where the bowl icon is, create glowberry custard, which you can then drink. This just gave me another bottle back, which is quite nice. And then once you eat the vegetable noodles and the glowberry custard, I've just duplicated a bottle for some reason. But other than that, it should just basically give you back your bowl and your bottle. But there we go. The skillet is another useful workstation that can act as a portable furnace, but for cooking only, so don't try putting your iron ore in there. This can be created with 1 brick and 4 iron bars, but you can also enchant it if you want to. Now, unless you have played this mod before, you're probably wondering, why on earth would I want to enchant a workstation? Well, this isn't just a workstation. This can be used as a weapon against your enemies, and it does pretty decent damage as well. So it's another reason why I say it's a portable furnace, as you can defeat your enemies with it, and then cook and eat your food from it. How delightful does that sound? Like I said, it's a really good workstation to keep with you on the go, by putting it over a campfire, and can cook multiple of the same food type fairly quickly. So, another great way to cook with the skillet is that you still need a campfire. So if you just place it down like so, and then if you grab a piece of raw meat, hold your raw meat in your offhand, and then over a campfire, and just right click, and it will actually start cooking it, as long as you are near a campfire. And you can hear like a sizzling noise, and then there you go, just cooked yourself a steak, without having to actually shift click and place the actual pan on top of the campfire, which is a really cool mechanic. So you don't actually need a bit of meat either. You can actually create a fried egg like this. Again, all you need to do, put the egg in your offhand, get close to a campfire, and then just hold out your skillet with the egg, and then you should get yourself a fried egg. And boom. And these will actually need to be used in other ingredients within the game, which we will go on to further later in the video. Now, this is a stove and can be created with 3 iron bars, 4 blocks of bricks, and 1 campfire. This is quite similar to the skillet as it can cook food only, but you can use it for different types of food, up to 6, and have them all cook and finish cooking at the same time. Also, unlike the skillet and the cooking pot, you don't require a campfire to be underneath it the entire time. You just need to place it down and watch it work. Okay, so all you need for a stove is literally just the stove. You don't need a campfire or anything like that, as I've said, which is really nice because it all just automatically turns on by itself. So as I've also said, it will just cook all 6 different types of meat at the same time. So it could be fish, pork, chicken, rabbit, anything. So let's just start by cooking some of this stuff. And as you can see, it'll give a little animation of just smoke coming off of it to show that it is cooking. And they will just cook pretty much all at the exact same time, as long as you put them on at the same time, basically. You don't have to wait for one of them, one after the other, to cook, like in a furnace or a skillet, let's say. But yeah, there we go. And they're all cooking pretty much around the exact same time. You can collect them all, and then finish off with whatever you've got left to cook. And there you go. So it's a really nice and easy thing to use, and it's much more efficient than a furnace or a skillet. The cutting board is the final of the workstations, and can be crafted very easily with 2 sticks and 4 wooden planks. This simple workstation can transform your food when placed onto it and used with a knife, making it excellent for making more filling meals. It can also be used to cut flowers and make the corresponding coloured dye, and so much more, which I will go into more detail later on. Okay, so the cutting board is such an amazing new mechanic and block that you can use in this mod. All you got to do is literally place it down on a block, make sure you've got your knife, I've got a flint knife, and then put some meat down on the table, and then depending on what type of meat it is, and if you can cut it, you just right click as if you're going to use the item, and there you go, you get some minced beef. So again, this gets used in other recipes or can be just cooked to get yourself a beef patty. Meat isn't the only thing that you can actually cut on the cutting board. So if you put a cornflour down and you use your knife, you get some blue dye, which is really awesome. And the same with almost every type of flour. It's not all of them, but it is most of them. And then just to show you how many uses this does actually have, we will go through all of them later on, so don't worry. You can just put down a cake on a cutting board and just slice it into 7 bits of cake. So you don't have to eat it all at once. And it's also like a portable cake as well, which is really awesome. Because you know, once you place down a cake, you can't basically break it and then take it with you again. You just have to eat it and leave it where it is. So yeah, it's a really, really awesome new item and block. As I've spoken about previously, a knife is a new tool and a weapon that can be used, not only on the cutting board, but on many different things as well as give you new items. This can be crafted with either flint, diamond, an iron ingot, a gold ingot, or netherite, and a stick. Now, I wouldn't recommend using this on enemies that have lots of health, as it doesn't do as much damage as say a sword or an axe, but it is great to use on animals to get new drops from the mod, like ham from a pig. You can also use this to harvest straw from long grass growing out of the ground. So if you do actually want to use the knife as a weapon, you can, because to be fair, it does have some decent damage and it is really, really quick when you attack. It's slightly faster than a sword, which is really awesome. And you can also enchant it with pretty much most other axe and sword enchantments. But there's also a new enchantment that has been added called backstabbing. And all you can literally do, just put your knife in the anvil like so, with an enchantment book with the backstabbing enchantment, and then there you go. So what this enchantment does is it actually causes more damage to enemies or mobs when they're hit in the back. So let's see if we can try and find, there we go, there's one up there as our victim for today. So if we strike from behind, as you saw, that's about 5.6 damage. So if you don't do it from behind, let's see how much damage it does. Yeah, it only does like 3.4 damage. So it does actually some pretty decent damage from behind. So you could kill a pig technically in 2 hits from behind. Oh, that guy just turned around as I hit him. So that was a bit unfortunate. But so if we hit this pig twice from behind, there we go. And it kills him instantly. And plus, like I said, you can also get some new drops from these mobs, like ham, which is really awesome. As expected from a food mod, new crops can be found in the wilderness that can be gathered with shears to be broken down on cutting boards, or just broken normally to give you seeds of the specific crop. These can include wild cabbage, wild onions, wild carrots, wild potatoes, wild rice, tomato shrubs, sea beet, and a brown and red mushroom colony. All of them are found in specific biome types in case you're struggling to find them. So wild cabbage and sea beet can be found on beach coasts, wild onions and carrots can be found in temperate biomes like the plains and forests, tomato shrubs can be found in savannas and deserts, wild potatoes can be found in mountains and taigas, and wild rice can be found in swamps or jungles. Okay, so some other cool little tricks you can do with your crops, and wild crops as well, is that if you have some tomato seeds, and then you place rope above where the tomato seeds are due to grow, they'll actually grow into the rope. Like so. And there you go. You could get 2 sets of tomato seeds. This will work for pretty much all of them as well. You just gotta wait for them to grow. Sometimes it doesn't actually work when you put bone meal on it, but it worked for this one, as you saw. And there you go. You could just grab up the tomatoes like so. So if you have a pair of shears on you and you find a mushroom colony, you can actually just shear them like so a couple times. And then you can actually leave the mushroom colony where it is just to grow by itself, and they will regrow, and you could just keep shearing the mushrooms like so. You won't actually break them at all, and it's just a good way of getting some mushrooms. So if you have a knife and you come across some of these wild flowers or wild crops that you can actually find across your world, what you can do is, instead of like hitting them or breaking them to completely destroy them and get the seeds, you can actually hit them with the knife and you'll get the seeds and the actual crop of what it is. So that one was a cabbage, this one's an onion. You don't always get the seeds, like this one I got an allium, which is like just a flower, so we could just plant that back down. Same with this one, you get a carrot, that one I got potato, and then this I will get rice. So it's really, really cool. So if you could hear him, we have a vindicator here, or any other pillager will do, and if you have some spare rotten tomatoes, you can just throw it at them. And you get yourself an advancement, which is a really easy, quick advancement, basically, when there is like a villager raid. It's a really bad time for this to rain. But yeah, it doesn't do any damage, but it's just something I guess you could do with your rotten tomatoes if you wanted to. The cutting board is a new workstation, as you know, and with it brings new ways to transform your food into more saturation, quantity, and uses. The knife is also a crucial part of the cutting board, as you can't really do anything without it. The different foods you can transform is raw beef to 2 minced beef, Ham to 1 raw pork chop and 1 bone. This can be for the smoked version as well. Raw pork chops to 2 raw bacon. Raw mutton to 2 raw mutton chops. This can be for the cooked versions as well. Salmon to raw salmon slices and 1 bone meal. This can be for the cooked versions as well. Raw chicken to 2 raw chicken cuts and bone meal. This can be for the cooked versions as well. Raw cod to 2 raw cod slices, and this can also be for the cooked versions as well. Red mushroom colony to 5 red mushrooms. A brown mushroom colony to 5 brown mushrooms. Melon to 9 melon slices. Pumpkin to 4 pumpkin slices. Sweet berry cheesecake to 4 slices of sweet berry cheesecake. Chocolate pie to 4 slices of chocolate pie. Apple pie to 4 slices of apple pie. Cake to 7 slices of cake. Wild potato to 1 potato and 2 purple dye. Rice panicle to rice and straw. Kelp roll to 3 kelp roll slices. Sea beet to beetroot seeds and red dye. Wild rice to rice and straw. Wild onion to 1 onion and 2 magenta dye. Cabbage to 2 cabbage leaves. Wild cabbage to cabbage seeds and 2 yellow dye. Wild carrot to 1 carrot and 2 light grey dye. Tomato shrub to tomato seeds, 1 tomato and 1 green dye. Wheat dough to raw pasta. And finally, all the flowers in vanilla Minecraft to all the Minecraft dye. The cooking pot is a great new workstation that only needs an active campfire to heat it, and for most of its recipes, a bowl. As I've said before, this can be used to create a range of different recipes from food all across Minecraft and in Farmer's Delight too. It finds uses for foods that don't really get used much, like eggs, ink sacs, glowberries, etc. Not only are they creative, you can also get amazing new buffs from many of them, such as comfort and nourishment. Comfort gives you natural regeneration, as if you were full, even when you're not fully hungered up. It slightly changes your health bar and gives it a silver outline when you are healing, as if you're being regenerated through a regeneration potion. Nourishment makes it so that you are immune to any hunger effect. It also prevents you from losing any hunger when doing actions that would usually exhaust you, like running, swimming, or fighting mobs. Not only this, it will extend your saturation bar and give it a golden glint to show this. Without further ado, you can create baked cod stew with raw cod or its slices, potato, egg and a tomato, and this will also give you comfort for 5 minutes. Squid ink pasta with any raw fish or its slices, raw pasta, tomato and an ink sac. This will give you nourishment for 5 minutes. Bone broth with bone and either a brown or red mushroom, glow lichen or berries, or hanging roots. This will give you comfort for 1 minute. Rabbit stew with baked potato, raw rabbit, carrot and a brown mushroom. This will provide you with comfort for 5 minutes. Cabbage rolls with a cabbage or a cabbage leaf, and either, this is a long list, any type of raw meat or fish, slices, raw bacon, minced beef, egg, carrot, potato, beetroot and any mushroom, raw chicken cuts or raw mutton chops. You don't require a bowl for this either, you just need to chuck them in and wait for them to brew. Beef stew with raw beef or minced beef, carrot and a potato. This should give you comfort for 3 minutes. Mushroom rice with a brown and red mushroom, rice and a carrot or potato. This will give you the nourishment effect for 3 minutes. Cooked rice with rice, and this should give you comfort for 30 seconds. Vegetable noodles with carrot, brown mushroom, raw pasta, cabbage or cabbage leaf, and either a carrot, beetroot, onion, potato or tomato, and this will give you nourishment for 5 minutes. Dumplings with wheat dough, cabbage or its cabbage leaf, onion and either a raw meat, raw chicken cuts, raw bacon, minced beef or a brown mushroom. This also doesn't require a bowl. Vegetable soup with a carrot, potato, beetroot and a cabbage leaf. This will provide comfort for 3 minutes. Fried rice with rice, egg, carrot and an onion, and this will give you comfort for 5 minutes. Mushroom stew, like the vanilla way, with 1 brown mushroom and 1 red mushroom. When it is cooked in a cooking pot, this will also give you comfort for 3 minutes. Stuffed pumpkin with rice, onion, brown mushroom, potato, a glow or sweet berry, and either a beetroot, carrot, onion, potato or tomato. Instead of a bowl, you will need a pumpkin. Tomato sauce with 2 tomatoes. Chicken soup with the raw chicken or its cuts, carrot, cabbage or its leaf, and either another carrot, beetroot, onion, potato or tomato. This shall give you comfort for 5 minutes. Pasta with meatballs with minced beef, raw pasta and tomato sauce. This will give you nourishment for 3 minutes. Glowberry custard with glowberries, a milk bucket or bottle, egg and sugar. Instead of a bowl, you will need a glass bottle, and this will give you the glowing effect as well for around 5 seconds. Dog food with rotten flesh, bone meal, raw mutton chops and rice. This can be given to your tamed wolf as well as give it speed, strength and resistance for 5 minutes. Eating this for yourself, however, doesn't give these effects. Beetroot soup with 3 beetroot, and this will give you comfort for 3 minutes. Ratatouille with tomato, onion, beetroot, and either another tomato, beetroot, onion, potato or carrot. This will give you nourishment for 1 minute. Potato with mutton chops created with raw mutton chops, raw pasta, and tomato sauce, and this will also give you nourishment but for 3 minutes. Pumpkin soup with the pumpkin slice, cabbage or its leaf, raw pork chop or bacon, and with a milk bucket or bottle. This shall give you comfort for 5 minutes. Apple cider with 2 apples and sugar, and this shall give you absorption for 1 minute. This will also only need a bottle rather than a bowl. Hot cocoa with either a milk bucket or bottle, sugar, and 2 lots of cocoa beans. Again, this will need a bottle rather than a bowl when consumed, and it will clear 1 harmful effect. Noodle soup with raw pasta, fried egg, dried kelp, and with raw bacon or pork chop. This will give you comfort for 5 minutes. Last but not least, you can also cook a fish stew with any type of raw fish or slice, tomato sauce, and an onion. This will give you the effect of comfort for 3 minutes. Now, if you didn't want to use the new cooking stations, you could instead just create some food at a crafting bench. These different foods won't give you great long-lasting buffs, like the ones if you were using a cooking pot to make, but they can still fill you up and saturate your hunger bars. Not only this, they can also be made and placed on blocks, giving you not only more space in your chest, but a great decoration. There are actually decorative blocks, which I will go into after, but for now, here are all the different meals you can make. Pie crust with 3 wheat and 1 milk bottle or bucket. Apple pie with either 4 apple pie slices, or 3 wheat, 3 apples, 2 sugar, and a pie crust. Sweet berry cheesecake with either 4 sweet berry cheesecake slices, or 6 sweet berries, 2 milk bottles or buckets, and 1 pie crust. Chocolate pie with either 4 chocolate pie slices, or 3 cocoa beans, 3 milk bottles or buckets, 2 sugar, and 1 pie crust. 8 sweet berry cookies with 2 wheat and 1 sweet berry. 8 honey cookies with 2 wheat and 1 honey bottle. Melon popsicle with 4 melon slices, 2 ice blocks, and 1 stick. Melon juice with 4 melon slices, 1 bottle, and 1 sugar, and this will also give you instant health. Fruit salad with 1 apple, 2 melon slices, 2 sweet or glow berries, 1 pumpkin slice, and a bowl. This will also give you regeneration for 5 seconds when consumed. Mixed salad with 1 cabbage or its leaf, 1 tomato, 1 beetroot, and a bowl. This will give you regeneration for 5 seconds as well when consumed. Nether salad with crimson fungus, warped fungus, and a bowl. Barbecue on a stick with 1 tomato, 1 onion, 1 type of cooked meat or fish, and 1 stick. Egg sandwich with 1 bread and 2 fried eggs. Chicken sandwich with 1 bread, 1 cooked chicken or its cuts, 1 cabbage or its leaf, and a carrot. Hamburger with 1 bread, 1 beef patty, 1 cabbage or its leaf, 1 tomato, and 1 onion. Bacon sandwich with 1 bread, 1 cooked bacon, 1 cabbage or its leaf, and 1 tomato. Mutton wrap with 1 bread, 1 cooked mutton or its chops, 1 cabbage or its leaf, and 1 onion. Stuffed potato with 1 baked potato, 1 cooked beef or beef patty, and 1 milk bottle or milk bucket. Salmon roll with 2 raw salmon slices and 1 cooked rice. Cod roll with 2 raw cod slices and 1 cooked rice. Kelp roll with 2 cooked rice, 1 carrot, and 3 dried kelp. Bacon and eggs with 2 cooked bacon, 2 eggs, and a bowl, and this will give you nourishment for a short time. Roasted mutton chops with 1 cooked mutton chops, 1 beetroot, a bowl, 1 cooked rice, and 1 tomato. Steak and potatoes with 1 baked potato, 1 cooked beef, a bowl, 1 onion, and 1 cooked rice. Grilled salmon with 1 cooked salmon or its slice, sweet berries, a bowl, 1 cabbage or its leaf, and an onion. Roast chicken with 1 onion, 1 egg, 1 bread, 2 carrots, 1 cooked chicken, 2 baked potatoes, and a bowl. Honey glazed ham with 4 sweet berries, 1 honey bottle, 1 smoked ham, 2 cooked rice, and a bowl. Shepherd's pie with 2 baked potatoes, 1 milk bottle or bucket, 3 cooked mutton or its chops, 2 onions, and a bowl. Rice roll medley with 3 kelp roll slices, 3 salmon rolls, 2 cod rolls, and a bowl. And horse feed with 1 hay bale or rice bale, 2 apples, and a golden carrot. Okay, so if you have some sort of pie or sweetberry cheesecake, you can actually eat it after placing it down, and it will act like a cake where you can keep eating it. Obviously I'm not hungry at the moment, but you'll take a slice out of it instead. Obviously, if you wanted to use a cutting board and a knife, you can actually cut this into 4 pieces, and it will basically give you all 4 pieces, so you can just carry it around with you instead of having to eat it from one place like so. So, with some of the really big meals, like the roast chicken, stuffed pumpkin, honey glazed ham, and the shepherd's pie, you can use a bowl on them, like so, and you get yourself a plate of roast chicken. Same with stuffed pumpkin, honey glazed ham, and shepherd's pie. These are supposed to be placed down, and then you eat them. You can't eat them by just a whole roast chicken in your hand and then just trying to munch it away. It just doesn't work like that. With the rice roll medley, it's quite a cool concept because you can just take one little part at a time. You will start with the kelp rolls, slices, and then the salmon rolls, and then the cod rolls, and you can't place them back down, unfortunately. Once you grab them, you got them forever. Unless, of course, you want to just remake them in the cooking pot. Again, it's quite cool. I really like that. So lastly, if you've got a tamed horse and you've got some horse feed, what you can do, you can actually feed it to the horse. It will give it some speed and a jump boost for around 5 minutes, which is really cool. So this horse wasn't very fast at all. I've just tamed it. It was super slow. But it's just a really cool thing if you're going on like a very big adventure across your world. Take your horse with you, give it some horse feed to make the beginning of the journey a lot more quicker. And as you can see, there's some potion particles coming off of him, just so you know that he is actually much more quicker and has a bit more of a jump boost than usual. Yeah, it's just a really cool little food item. Moving on to different soils now, and how you can obtain them and what they can do. All in all, they can help you grow crops a lot faster and other crops more efficiently. Organic compost can either be sometimes found in villages or can be created as well with 1 dirt block, 2 straw, 2 bone meal and 1 tree bark, which is gathered when you chop logs on a cutting board with an axe. Before you place this, make sure it is in direct sunlight, whilst also being moisturised by water. Once this is placed, make some room around it, like a 3x3 square with the compost in the middle, and either place brown or red mushrooms, or the colonies, podzol and mycelium, other organic compost or rich soil, and this can be normal or tilled. This can be described as activators and will slowly accelerate the decomposing of the organic compost, making it quicker for you to get rich soil. Once it has decomposed and you have your rich soil, you can place this in a moderately dark area where mushrooms would grow. Placing mushrooms on these could transform these mushrooms into mushroom colonies. If instead you want to till this rich soil into rich farmland, then you can with a hoe, and it will act like normal farmland whereby you should put it near some water to hydrate itself. This farmland is different and more unique compared to its normal counterpart, where anything that jumps on it or tries to trample on it won't be able to, and it will also stop pumpkins and melons from growing onto it. So, a cool feature with rich soil when you're using it for a farm is that compared to normal soil, it will sometimes just give the random effect of a bone meal. So as you can see, these 3 plants here, I've literally just planted all these down, by the way, as you can see, and all 3 of them are pretty much close to being done, just because it just gives a bone meal effect once every so often, which is so useful, so you don't have to constantly wait around for your seeds to grow. And there you go. As you saw, that one it's almost done. It's not completely done just yet, but it just gave itself like a bit of bone meal. Like I said, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen occasionally, which can speed up the process of you farming, really. With a lot of other mods comes decorations, and Farmer's Delight is no different. You can either make crates, baskets, signs, hanging signs, canvases, cabinets, and more. Crates, bags, and bales can be made with either 9 carrots, potatoes, beetroot, cabbages, tomatoes, or onions, rice panicles, or just plain rice, and straw to give the corresponding batch of that item. This is made to manage your storage as well as be a great piece of decoration to decorate your farm or your house. A basket can be made with 4 bamboo and 3 canvases, which is made from 4 straw. This is a container where you can place any item you want into it. If you do just want to get it in there without having to open it manually, you can just chuck the item into the top of it and it will automatically get placed into it. Cabinets are similar to baskets, but there is much more of a variety. This can be made with 6 slabs and 2 trapdoors. They all have to be the same wood types, but can be of any wood, including the trees from their nether. Like I said, they are slightly different to baskets, as you can't just throw items into it, but it does have a small animation, like if you open a barrel, where doors will open and close if you exit out of the storage menu. Rope can be made from 2 straw, and this is similar how it works to a ladder, where you can climb up it. It does have its own uniqueness to it, where you don't need to place rope on a block, and you can just climb up it. This is great when you're in a cave with a massive drop, as you can place your rope down, and if you continue placing it on the top rope block, it will keep extending the rope downwards. 4 rope can also be used to create a safety net, which, when landed on, will negate any fall damage and bounce you a couple times. Canvas is a new item that is mainly used in decoration for creating signs and mats. It is made with 4 straw, and then can be made into a rug. Using 6 bamboo and 1 canvas can actually make scaffolding, which can be a replacer for string if you don't have any. You can also use 8 sticks with a canvas to make a painting, or 3 paper and a canvas to make a book, to be a substitute for wool and leather. Using 2 straw and 3 canvases, you can also make a new block called tatami. This can be used to create 2 full tatami mats, which can then be crafted further into half tatami mats. Our last set of items today are signs and hanging signs. These are great decorative blocks as they change the way normal signs are slightly. 3 normal signs are made with 4 of the same type of planks, 2 canvases, and 1 stick. As you can see, they have a nice border with a canvas on its front. Not only this, you can also use any type of dye on this canvas sign to make the middle of it a different colour. The hanging signs are also an amazing addition to this mod, and 6 can be made with 2 chains, 4 types of the same log or stripped log, and 2 canvases. You can hang these on the side or beneath the block to give you its effect of, well, hanging, which is really cool. Similarly to normal canvas signs, they can be dyed to give a different colour in the middle of them. When I saw this mod for the first time, I was really like, why is this so popular? It's a simple food mod. What of it? And God, was I wrong. I didn't realise how much fun it was to play with this mod and to progress through it with its advancements and learn how to use all the different workstations. Honestly, if you're watching this and umming and ahhing about whether you should try it, please do, as it will really surprise you. I've mentioned previously that there are tons of add-ons for this mod. And, well, next time we'll be looking into these and 10 different add-ons from Farmer's Delight. So speak to you guys then, and maybe click on the video on your screen now if you fancy watching another showcase.